Hate crimes are attacks on people because of their race, their religion, or sexual preference. And the latest numbers show hate crimes have been increasing. So how do you stop hate? I asked that question to a woman who survived Hitler's Holocaust.
Ich lebe den Nationalsozialismus in Bewegung! Ich lebe Deutschland!
To this day, Estherleon Schwartz is terrorized by the thought of this man, his systematic genocide, the Holocaust of 2/3 of the Jewish population across Europe.
The fear inside and being scared never leaves you. It never left me. It never has left me.
Born in an alley in France, her early life was frightening.
We were always running. I was always scared, always running. Then I remember when we were running and the Nazis were chasing us.
Schwartz was 4 years old at the time.
My papa picked me up. We were at the wire fence and he looked to the heavens and he said, "Save my daughter to always serve you." And he threw me over the barbed wire fence into the arms of the soldiers.
Though the three survived, her grandparents, aunts, uncles, and others she left behind were killed by the Nazis in the concentration camps.
We as humans are not born with hate. We are born pure.
She believes a lack of nurturing as a child creates kids filled with hate who grew up to be hateful adults, now and back when Hitler ruled Germany.
I feel we were born pure. Something goes wrong. Is there any difference from then to now? No.
Her idea to fix that is simple. She says after the Pledge of Allegiance in school, kids should form a circle and on a daily basis talk about what they're grateful for. Why would that make a difference?
Because they grow up to be buddies. Because they're acknowledged. Because they get a voice. They get a voice.
To Schwartz, whether in 1940s Germany, 2016 Orlando, or 2017 Charlottesville,
Jews will not replace us!
Hate is hate.
And hate hurts.
You feel very rejected. You feel you have no self-worth.
Where should we go?
Don't go east, that's for sure. They hate you there.
The Jewish Journal once wrote that the 1994 Oscar-winning Best Picture Schindler's List is widely credited as the film most responsible for teaching about the Holocaust to the mainstream. Estherleon Schwartz, a cantor whose strength is drawn from the hate she's experienced, sings and hopes that someday there will be no hate. Back now with our panel, Cantor Mike Stein. Let me ask you your reaction to that.
Wow. Wow. And to see that the woman is a cantor, she's a singer. The rabbi who led the funeral and is the spiritual leader of Etz Chaim, the Tree of Life, is a cantor who became a rabbi. It's all about teaching. It says in our prayers that when we wake up in the morning, a pure soul is breathed into us. And what destroys that purity is learning hatred.
We're going to have to move along a little bit, but Reverend Irving, let me have you pick up on that.
You know, I told my own community of Christians that so often we cling to this notion of safety, but that whenever there is suffering in the world, you know, my tradition says we have to go close to that, and really we're called to a moment of solidarity.
Marcia, is the answer to teach kids when they're young, as she's suggesting?
Absolutely. You have to be careful.
What do you teach them?
You teach them love, not hate. You have to be carefully taught. They're born pure.
That's what she says.
They have to be taught to hate.
Max?
You know, I'm just thinking about the loss that, you know, our millennial generation and maybe even our parents' generation is losing right now, this perceived safety that us as American Jews really enjoyed for a really long time. And, you know, when you're feeling lost, there's no better place to go than to reach out to folks who are suffering in similar ways than you are. So I think this is a tremendous moment to see who our allies are in this fight.
You know, Estherleon had quite a thought there as she showed that paper, a whole sense that after the Pledge of Allegiance, let's all hold hands, let's become buddies. Is that going to work?
You know, I don't know.
Should that be done?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I think any attempt at helping us understand other people's experience, especially the experience of, you know, marginalized folks who are different than you, is so important. I think in this moment right now, I know something I need, and I feel a lot of young people need, is leadership in the American Jewish community, and folks who are able to stand up and say, you know, white nationalism is not something we'll accept, and these are acts of violence, and, you know, we're going to stand together in condemning, you know, sort of what's become the norm over the last year or two.
I think listening to what Estherleon had to say, what all of you have had to say, I think is part of the conversation, isn't it? It's part of talking about things and trying to make it so everybody can get along. To invoke Rodney King, if you will. But it is about getting along. I want to thank you all, Mike and Reverend Jerry and Marcia and Max and Shay. Good conversation. I appreciate it very much.